And Florida is providing close to $10 million to repair a key port after Hurricane Milton. Governor Ron DeSantis announced the $9.5 million initiative at Seaport Manatee today. DeSantis highlighted the importance of getting the port back to working order so that supply chains experience as little disruption as possible from the storm.
You know, we're here to ensure not just with the fuel, but for all the things that Port Manatee delivers, we want to ensure minimal interruption to the supply chain as possible. When you have major damage, there just is going to be some interruption. We understand that, but we've worked really hard to be able to help get them on their feet.
The governor also touted the private-public partnerships that have helped clear debris and move gas to the areas hit hard by Milton and Helene. The Dane County Humane Society is receiving shelter pets impacted by the hurricanes. The partnership with Greater Good Charities, Southwest Airlines, and Lucky Dog Animal Rescue. More than 100 shelter pets will be airlifted from the southeast to the Midwest to find new homes. Dane County Humane Society has welcomed 17 animals from this transport.